When we surveyed a lot of our clients, over 80% of the CIOs, when they make investments in network, the number one driver is security.
Enterprises are moving quickly from best effort connectivity to predictable business outcomes. And there's a lot of things that are taking place in the networks to enable this. From an entity data perspective, people have talked about project and use cases, but you and I, we often talk about the capabilities that we should be talking about instead as the foundation for bringing this into people's different use places where make a difference. Help people understand that.
Let me put some context. NTT, as being a global SI, we work with more than 75% of the Fortune 100 companies globally. And we provide what we call the full stack offering, everything from infrastructure to solutions, applications, data center, cloud services. And we really try as an organization to be that one trusted global SI partner. And what we find with our customers, they're not looking for necessarily a technology. What they're really looking for is, what is the problem that you can help me solve? If you look at across the industry, operational excellence, companies are looking to drive efficiency, reduce costs, dealing with a lot of change in a global perspective. What we're trying to help them with is understand their business, what are their problems, and then how we can help solve those problems. And if you're looking at a lot of these connectivity as a single use case, you're not going to get that business case, that support that you need from an organizational and senior executives to drive that investment. I think we have to look at it more from a foundational component for their entire business perspective. That's, I think, the key for us to help them realize that.
So that they're essentially seeing that this is not something that you should try to justify use case by use case. No. It's a more profound thing.
So I'll give you an example, like security. When we surveyed a lot of our clients, over 80% of the CIOs, when they make investments in network, the number one driver is security. You would think it's speed or latency or these things, but it's really how can I, as a CIO, make sure sleep at night, to make sure that my network is going to be secure, I have the best security possible. And that really is the foundation, and that private wireless, private 5G networks give you that sound security, right? It allows them to segment their traffic. It provides over-the-air encryption, eSIM-based authentication, and some of the work that we're doing with Zero Trust, CTNA, with Ericsson on the wireless WAN all the way end-to-end, gives you that foundational rails of the network that the CIO can sleep at night, so he's not worried about what's happening out there. And, our perspective is, it's not about a single use case. It's that building the right foundation.
When it comes to the partnership and what it takes to deliver on this is not a one company show. What does good look like in a cooperation between our companies?
We have to build trust for our clients. Our cooperation demonstrates how well we work together, how we deliver to our clients as one team. And I think for us, it's starting with the foundation of how easy we are to work with each other, and making that all the way from everything of understanding the needs of the customer and delivering to the customer needs, and being confident that we can. Contracting, being able to also create proposals and solutions that the customer needs very quickly. I think the other aspect is we are a global SI and we operate and manage these networks. We need tools and solutions that make it very cost efficient for us to deliver and react and manage those SLA commitments we have for our customers. And finally, I would say last is we need alignment on with you in terms of what are the future needs of those customers for that roadmap that we need to deliver.
Excellent. What we want to get across to you all here is that when you think about private networks and what we can do for driving the enablers for the enterprise, don't focus just on the use cases. Focus on building foundational capabilities. We talk examples here from the industry and how far it has advanced. And we also talk very much the job that we are doing behind the scenes to make you successful by the end of the day, because that is our focus as partners in all of this. Thank you very much for coming here.
Thank you.